Hey everyone, it's Midnight Spectre, and today we're going to look at some of the lies that my parents told me growing up. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the video. So I'm sure everyone knows about the infamous interior light lie that our parents told us about driving with the interior light on is legal, so as kids wouldn't turn it on when we were driving. Turns out it just makes it harder to see when we did that. I kind of wish our parents came out and told us, like, hey, when you do that, I can't see outside, instead of us believing it was illegal, until we were driving age, and you end up embarrassing yourself in front of driver's ed class. Yeah, that totally didn't happen to me. However, one lie that my parents loved to tell me when I couldn't read yet is when I asked what something would say, and they would say something like, kids like Midnight Spectre can't touch this, or something to that effect. So for a long time I thought the world was this anti-midnight world, where somehow everyone knew about me and put warning labels on stuff and things to keep me from stopping me to do something. I don't know why my parents did that, probably to try and nip in the bud the string of whys that flow out of me if they told me exactly what it said, but I would still ask why or how, even if my parents told me that it was an anti-midnight label. Another lie that my parents told me is if I ate too much of something, I would turn into whatever I was eating or turn into an animal. Like, I remember one time I loved, and I mean I loved, eating popcorn. I have a bowl of it every time I came home from school, and while I guess my parents got tired of me one day always asking for popcorn, and they said to me, you know what, if you eat too much popcorn, you're going to turn into popcorn. And of course that was horrifying to me. I just imagine my little kid self taking one last fateful piece of popcorn, and all of a sudden just turning into a pile of popcorn on the floor. So after that I swore off popcorn for an embarrassing long amount of time. Now, one lie that I wish my parents didn't tell me is that they saw a mouse in my room every time they wanted me to clean my room. Now, I will admit, I'm kind of a messy person. Like, if I took a picture of my desk right now, it would have a ton of stuff on it. But I was never one to leave food laying around, partially because I was a rather portly and constantly hungry kid. And for a good portion of my life, my parents would make me all sit us down for dinner at the dining room table. Thankfully, we take our meals into our room now to enjoy. However, at the time, I was super scared of mice, and I'm not entirely sure why. I don't really want them in my house nor my living area, but at the same time, I was deathly afraid of them. Like, if I saw one, or it was even rumored to have been a mouse somewhere, I would avoid the area, which kind of sucked because it would fill my nights with terror when I was made to sleep in my bedroom that earlier that day that my parents had claimed they saw a mouse in. I think I realized it was a lie when I was about 16 or 17, and it was right around the time when I started driving, and my parents would give me a little pocket change to spend on stuff, and I was saving my money for something like, probably like a game or something, and my parents said, oh, we saw a mouse in your room, and I was like, okay, and so I drove to the store and I bought like $60 or $70 worth of mouse traps, which at the time was probably all the money I had, and poison and stuff, and set them all around my room. And then a few weeks later, I was driving to school and I was like, wait a minute, that was a damn lie. The last lie that I can remember my parents telling me was the famous, oh, I didn't say that, whenever I would try to bring up something they said, and this one persisted all the way up until adulthood. For example, I was buying my mom a car because she was sick of renting a car every time her shipping crate, which is what some people call Dodges, because they like to take the engines out and put them in other things. But she said to me that she wouldn't be caught dead in a Honda because I was thinking of a cheap, economical daily that would have been fun to drive and cheap to fix. So I had to start looking at used luxury vehicles and their luxury vehicle tax. Of course, she didn't want an Infiniti or Lexus because everybody drove one of those, and the parent companies of both brands are Nissan and Toyota, so I had to find a German luxury car. So that's how I ended up with a BMW, which ended up being a mouse hotel because in BMW's infinite wisdom, decided to use a soy-based coating for the wires, which would crack, and mice love to chew on it, and they kind of made that car their little house hotel, and ended up having a check engine light and a cylinder misfire number 2. Even though I don't think we really needed a BMW or wanted one, I'll be the first to admit that I had fun driving it before the mice took it over. I remember the last outing I had with it, I was going over 100 miles per hour in the interstate until I hit a pothole and I felt like I was going to lose control of the car, so I slowed down to about 80, which was the posted speed limit. Hell, I remember my first weekend I had with the car, I was hyped up on toge videos and old Japanese drift videos, and I took the BMW out in some back roads, taking curves faster and faster, until I hit a curve with doing about 60, and I started to hear the tire squeal, and I was like, I better let up before I wreck my vehicle. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed this week's video. I hope everyone remembers to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for next week's video. See you!